If you own an Xbox One and are struggling to find games to play, then you may want to look into the Xbox Game Pass. Now, you've probably already heard of it. You've probably already had someone try to sell you on it. So I'm not going to extend myself too far to try to sell you on it, because honestly, it really sells itself. I mean, it has a library right now of over 100 games, and it seems to be only getting deeper. They reach pretty far back too. I mean, they have some original Xbox titles, Fusion Frenzy of all things. And when I signed up for it, I went and looked at the library, and I kind of was overwhelmed at first because there are so many games available. I didn't really know where to start. I mean, my first inclination was to go for the newer games, the next-gen games. But after looking at it again recently, I decided I wanted to go back and try some games that I had missed along the way, stuff that maybe I had actually owned long ago and never finished or never played. And that's just another reason why the Game Pass is pretty cool, is that you can look at it from a different perspective of games that you may have, like I said, lost along the way. But anyway, this video isn't focused on why you should own it. It's, if you do get it, what games should you play? So I picked some out. These are, my opinion, some of the better titles that are available. So let's just take a quick look at them, and I'll tell you why you should check them out. So first up is Hitman. Now, I'm also actually working on a video specifically for this game and my excitement for the upcoming Hitman 2. So I'll save a lot of what I want to say about this game for that, but just be on the lookout for that in the future. But anyway, Hitman is a soft reboot of the long-running series. And the developers, Square Enix, really took a different approach to how they wanted to release this game. They staggered the release of each mission in the game. I think there's 8 missions total. Now, 8 missions may not sound like a lot of content for the game, but it's actually the opposite. There's such an incredible amount of content in this game, it's kind of ridiculous. Now, if you're familiar with the Hitman series, you know that you can play each mission your way. You can assassinate the targets in the way that you want. You could be stealthy, you can go in guns blazing, it's up to you. And this rebooted Hitman takes that to the nth degree. There are at times what feels like a limitless amount of ways that you can eliminate your targets. Each mission is really crafted to be as open as possible. I originally was hesitant to get into Hitman because of the way they were releasing the game, and so I originally picked this up when they released it as a whole retail package. And with the Game Pass, you get the whole package. I believe there is a DLC pack that is not included, but the Game Pass does come with every mission. Okay, so stacking is kind of an odd duck here, but I've always been kind of fascinated with this game, and I never got around to playing it when it originally came out on the Xbox 360 arcade. It was developed by Tim Schafer's Double Fine, who's responsible for games like Grim Fandango and Psychonauts. And those games are known for their very unique style and their very bizarre humor, and that translates, of course, to stacking as well. You take control of these little Russian stacking dolls, and each of them have unique abilities. In each level, you have to locate the right stacking dolls and use their abilities to solve puzzles and progress through the mission. There are over 100 dolls to collect throughout the game, and doing so is really satisfying and rewarding. I think of stacking as kind of like a Lego game, just without the building and stacking instead. I felt like I needed to include the Master Chief Collection on the list purely because of how much content you're getting if you download it. I mean, it comes with Halo, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST, and Halo 4. It's really the epitome of Xbox gaming, and it offers such a birth of content that it's kind of a must-own anyway if you have an Xbox. So if you don't own it and you have the Game Pass, might as well download it. Back in the last gen, I was always really jealous of PS3 owners because they had the Uncharted series. I got the PS3 really late in its life cycle, so I didn't get around to playing Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 3 until very late. And they really are fantastic cinematic gaming experiences, and the reason why I bring them up because I feel like the only games to have come close to matching that is the recent Tomb Raider games. Rise of the Tomb Raider is the sequel to the Tomb Raider reboot, and they really did a good job of expanding on those mechanics while maintaining the same type of cinematic style gameplay. That being said, I did feel like the story in Rise of the Tomb Raider was a bit muddy. It wasn't as focused as the previous game, but that's okay because what's really engaging about this game is the fast-paced combat and the action scenarios. and the third game in this rebooted series, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, comes out mid-September, so this is a good primer to that. Another Xbox 360 arcade title is Toy Soldiers Cold War. This is a sequel, and they have the first game, but I chose this one because this is the one I have experience with, and I played the hell out of this game. I've always been really interested in games that try to extrapolate our view of the world as children. It's kind of like the Toy Story concept, right, where the toys are alive. And in this case, you are the commander of a battlefield full of toy soldiers. It operates as sort of like a tower defense strategy game. You can also take control of your units, which consist of first-person and third-person gameplay. It's sort of mindless fun, but sometimes that's all you need. So I've found that defending Fallout 4 is often met with opposition these days. I mean, most players felt let down, or they walked away from the game with lowered expectations for future titles. And I will agree that the story was severely lacking compared to the previous entries, Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3, but I still got a lot of satisfaction from this game. Now, my original first playthrough of the game was over 200 hours, and should you get hooked, that's an accomplishable feat. So Fallout 4, of course, is a really good choice for quantity. Warhammer Vermintide 2 is a Left 4 Dead style action game that's set in the world of Warhammer. Now, you shouldn't be threatened by this being a sequel and from a series you may be unfamiliar with, as the gameplay does not demand any prior knowledge. Now, instead of zombies you would have faced in Left 4 Dead, instead you'll be fighting against the Skaven, which are rat-like creatures that swarm just as well as their undead counterparts. Now, if that sounded scripted, that's because it absolutely is. I have not played a ton of Warhammer Vermintide 2, but from my early hands-on experience, I was enjoying the game, and should I find some people to play with, that is where this game is going to excel in a party of 3 or more people. Now, this is just a small offering of all the stuff that's offered. There are things like Fable 2, the whole Fable series is on there actually, Dead Island, Braid, Quantum Break, Spelunky, and of course, before you invest into the Game Pass, go look at all the games offered. See if this is something that you want to spend the $15 a month on. And also, please, if you liked the video, drop a like, maybe sub for more content. And also, if you can write in the comments what games you're playing on the Game Pass, let me know. And thanks for watching.